Hello everyone. I'm doing an overview of the Yamaha RX-Z9. I'm sure you'd rather hear the sound of this instead of somebody talking, but after getting several copyright violations, I decided to keep this one quiet as far as music playback goes. The question is RX-Z9 the best receiver ever? Short answer, yes and no. Depends on how it's used. When used as a multi-channel receiver with digital inputs, then no, it is battered by other more modern high-end receivers, mainly due to its DTS Master Audio and Dolby True HD, which are 24-bit, versus the 16-bit of this one, the older DTS and Dolby. Uh, such as the Z11 would beat it in that respect. The Z9 is much better than modern receivers such as the RX-A series in many other ways, though. If you use this as a multi-channel input for high-end Blu-ray players such as Oppo, then I would say, yes, this is the best multi-channel receiver ever made. I would say co-best, actually, with the Denon AVR 5805. They're pretty much dead even. I've had one of those too. I've compared this to a lot of receivers. I used to sell a lot of receivers on eBay because I would get the trade-ins and use models from this Yamaha dealership, Yamaha/Denon dealership. So I had a chance to compare it to a lot of different units. I'd always keep each unit for several weeks, before, to test it and demo it, before I would sell them. And and this is much better than a 5850, especially if you consider the price. They're dead even, I'd say, in performance, but for the price, this is just a lot cheaper than a 5805 in the used market. The other one sells more just because it's got HDMI, but the HDMI is not really an advantage for it since it doesn't have DTS Master Audio and the 24-bit. It's just got the same codecs as this one does, just Dolby Digital and Prologic, and HDMI is inferior to coax as far as transferring that type of signal. So there's really no advantage, in my opinion, to getting a 5805, other than it just weighs more. And as far as the technology on this, this is a unique Yamaha. It went for $4,500, and according to the Yamaha dealership that I used to deal with, Yamaha actually lost money on this model, leaving it $4,500 just because of all the cutting-edge technology and things that it had that other Yamahas didn't have and still don't have. First, you have a toroidal transformer. I think it's a 1,000. It's 1 kilovolt. This is a powerful, quiet type of a transformer. Usually, you only see these in really high-end equipment, such as Crail and, high-end separates. It's the only Yamaha home theater receiver with one of these, although the MX5000 separate modern Yamaha home theater amp does have this. It's got balanced circuitry. Although it has single-ended inputs, it uses fully differential circuitry from input to output. All other Yamaha's receivers only have amp sections that's differential. This can be used as a true 3-channel amp. It's got 3 channels on the back that they're right over here somewhere. I can't see too well, but it's got 3 channels that when you plug in a processor or a preamp, it completely separates the amplifier from the preamp and the rest of the circuitry, and your processor or amp fully takes over the amp section of this. This is the most powerful 7-channel amp Yamaha ever made, 170 watts per channel, and times 7, and it's also got 2 more channels at 50 watts. The lab test actually confirmed this would actually do its rating too, whereas more modern Yamahas only will do the rating in 2 channels. If you compare this to a modern top-of-the-line RX-A amp, they only put out about 80 watts per channel with all 7 channels driven. You know, this is by lab tests and some magazines. You know, they're certainly not slouches, but with all channels going, this is about twice as powerful. This also actually puts out more real power than the MX 5000 amp, which is a few grand. Fifth, this uses PCM 1792 DA converters, which is probably the best, probably the second best DA converter ever put in a receiver. Only to the, well, actually it's probably the best ever put in a receiver. The only DA converter better is the ESS IC used in the highest end Oppo Blu-ray player, the BDP 105, I believe is what it is. Comparing this to separates, is it as good as high-end separates? Short answer, no. But it sounds close enough that, you know, for all probably, but for the most discriminating audiophiles. I compared just the amp section of this. You know, without the preamp, I plugged in a high-end 2-channel amp to the preamp section of this. I mean, to the direct amp input section of this, and compared it to a Yamaha M65 amp. And it's a Class A amp, and it's, you know, it's one of them legendary amps. You know, it's just a lot of people like them. It's got like a cult following. The M65, the sound signature, how it sounded, was very similar to the M65. I can't help but believe that that might have had something to do with the sound on this thing. You know, they may have been kind of going for that at the time or something. I don't know, but the Class A amp, the M65, does slightly edge it out, you know, in fine detail, although this does have more actual raw power than the M65. They're both rated 170 per channel, I believe. Well, actually, in 2-channel, I think this is rated about 2 or 210, something like that. But even though it was designed like separates, in many ways, you know, each section was designed just about like separates, but it still is a receiver, and it doesn't have separate power supplies to everything. Compare this to Z11. As mentioned earlier, the Z11 beats it as purely a HT receiver with a digital signal, mainly due to the 24-bit DTS master audio and an amp section that, although not as good as or as powerful as the Z9, is still pretty good. As far as 2-channel direct digital, Z9 wins better to do DA converter, better amp and preamp section. 2-channel simulated surround, the Z11 wins because it's probably about the best simulated surround I ever heard. The Z9 does have a pretty beefy simulated surround section, though. It's no slouch, but the Z11 definitely beats it in that. As far as HDMI, this doesn't have HDMI, so the Z11 beats it there. Discrete amp section, the Z11 doesn't have a way to plug in it doesn't separate itself as far as just being a pure amp, so this would be it that. This has FireWire where the Z11 does not. Z11 does have internet radio and some other features that, you know, are pluses. Comes down to what you want. I prefer Z9 for preamp and DACs, but for movies or if you love simulated 2-channel, then Z11 would be the best. Comparing this to 5805, I would say just about equal in about every category, with both having the same power, use the same DACs, similar circuitry, with 5805 having more features but costs way more in the used market. Z11 looks better in my opinion, but runs hotter due to putting all this technology in a relatively small package considering how much power it actually has. I would do another video on modding this for better cooling. In conclusion, it matters what you're looking for in a receiver. If you're looking for modern features, then, you know, look elsewhere. If you're looking you know, for mainly sound quality, 2-channel, or if you're going to, you know, use it for like a volume control for something like a high-end Blu-ray player such as Oppo, or if you want the option to upgrade My apologies for the abrupt ending of the video. I was recording and it only had maybe 10 or 20 seconds left and the camera just stopped. It was actually made years ago and I just found the footage, and I feel God wanted me to, use this as an example of people are going to be just going about their everyday business, just doing this or that, and Jesus is going to come back out of the blue, and nobody's going to be ready. I mean, expecting it. And the people that don't know Jesus are going to be left behind, and the people that know Jesus will be caught up in the air. So if you know Jesus and you got a loved one that you need to lead to the Lord, now's the time. There won't be any second chances. So the time is near. We know that by all the signs in the world. But just as the video ended, also so could your life, just end unexpectedly. So it's just like I say, I was right at the end, and the camera just cut off. So we could be walking outside and going to the store, or doing whatever, and just Jesus could come back just like that. And if you are left behind, if you're a skeptic, atheist, or whatever, just remember this, because they're going to say something to the effect of aliens took a bunch of people, or something like that, or they might even put out an EMP so people can't really communicate. The fact that a bunch of people have been caught up in a rapture. So it's going to be a big cover-up either way. So just don't believe them. And they're going to try to unify the whole world under one guy that seems to have all the answers. And it's going to be a big farce. So they're going to require everybody to have a mark on their right hand or forehead, either his name or a 666, or it may be like a computer chip that has 666 on it. You just don't know. But whatever it is, don't take it, because the Bible says if you take it, you'll be instantly guaranteed hell. There'll be no turning back. So don't take the mark. It'll probably cost you your life, but it'll be worth it. Because if you believe in Jesus and take Him into your heart, ask Him into your heart, then you'll be forevermore with Him. Even you'll be even a martyred saint if you have your head cut off. So it'll be a good thing. So just wanted to give a little warning to everybody, because the unexpectancy of life, or either the rapture. So nobody knows what tomorrow holds, what the next second holds. So just want to share this with you guys, and thanks for watching. Y'all be blessed.